folks that are masked, that they're not sure if they're law enforcement, that they may be kidnapping people. Like, we have had those reports. I want to be clear to the community. The community should know that if you see something like that is legitimate, that you don't know if someone is law enforcement, you should call 911. And you should provide as much information as possible, because let's not forget, we very recently had tragedy in this state by someone who was purporting to be law enforcement. So please, let's be clear. That's something everyone should report, and that we will immediately respond to, and we will document. Whether it's somebody's not sure if there's a kidnapping happening, somebody's not sure if that there's law enforcement present or not, and that's something else that's additional policy requirements that we are implementing.
Look, I'll say the same thing I said to other chiefs of police in sanctuary cities. Shame on you. I mean, your number one responsibility is the safety and security of your communities. And ICE is targeting criminals. Criminals. So for you not to partner with ICE to make your community safer is shameful. He ought to put his badge in the desk drawer and walk away, because he stopped being a cop, become a politician. If a true law enforcement official would work with ICE, okay, look, I don't want to be an immigration officer. I'll leave that to you guys. But when we have an illegal alien public safety threat in the community, I want to be shoulder to shoulder with you. I want to help you make my community safer, because the chief of police, that's my number one responsibility.
He's wrong, and we want them here. Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit. I'll say it again. Somali people have been a benefit to our city for longer than I have been in our city. Our values and our commitment to the Somali community, to every community of immigrants and people in our city, is rock solid and will be unwavering. Our police, many of whom are Somali themselves, are trusted partners in keeping people safe. They will not collaborate with any federal agency around doing immigration enforcement work. Our city staff and our law enforcement will not ask the question as to whether an individual is documented or not. And by the way, there are more than 80,000 Somali people living in Minnesota. Almost all of them are both documented and citizens.
Go ahead. Thank you. The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief...
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also saying...
I wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, you know, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here.
Well, let's have a look at more of this Trump statement, focusing on Minnesota and the mass migration of Somalians to that state. Here's what President Trump wrote. He said, hundreds of thousands of refugees from Somalia are completely taking over the once great state of Minnesota. Somalian gangs are roving the streets looking for prey as our wonderful people stay locked in their apartments and houses, hoping against hope that they will be left alone. The seriously retarded governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, does nothing either through fear, incompetence, or both, while the worst congresswoman in our country, Ilhan Omar, always wrapped in her swaddling hijab and who probably came into the USA illegally in that you are not allowed to marry your brother, does nothing but hatefully complain about our country, its constitution, and how badly she is treated when her place of origin is a decadent, backward and crime-ridden nation, which is essentially not even a country for lack of government, military, police, schools. Even as we have progressed technologically, immigration policy has eroded those gains and living conditions for many. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover, terminate all of the millions of Biden's illegal admissions, including those signed by Sleepy Joe Biden's auto pen, and remove anyone who is not a net asset to the United States or is incapable of loving our country, end all federal benefits and subsidises to non-citizens of our country. Kosha, a lot there. All the focus has been on the assessment of Tim Walz being, and I quote, seriously retarded, but there are some major policy announcements in that statement, and they've followed through with that.
Huge, and he sent that out on Thanksgiving Eve.
Yeah.
So it was this barn burner.
Happy Thanksgiving.
We're enjoying the weekend. Some of it, I would say, to his base was a bit surprising that it hasn't been done already. So, you know, when he said in there, we're going to cut benefits, these types of welfare benefits to illegals and non-citizens, a lot of people thought that had kind of been done from when he signed that flurry of executive orders on day one. But be that as it may, that is why he won in a landslide. He single-handedly changed the whole conversation around immigration when he came into the political arena in 2015. It is not being implemented fast enough. Maybe inherently it cannot be implemented fast enough because the wave of immigration is always 10 steps ahead of any policy, catch-up policy that you do on the back end, unless you go bold and really do something that would be considered radical, which is what he had in there, things like a moratorium for a generation, maybe. Why is it a given that every country has to take immigrants? Maybe GDP goes down. Maybe some of those metrics are not as important as other metrics. So that's the kind of stuff he's talking about in terms of cutting off funding for anybody who's not a citizen, taking welfare benefits, taxing remittances when they're sending that money back to their own country. That's sort of like a flavor of the tariff thing that he's doing. And also, I think the last thing is if you are found criminally liable for something, should immigration status be on the table? So not just that you go to jail or you have a fine, but visas being revoked. Denaturalization is something he's been throwing out there.
That's a big one. So if you've been naturalised and you are now a US citizen, that they could take that away if there is serious criminality.
But the courts will fight that, and we'll see where that
one's going to be a legal battle now.